Good morning. It's Friday. I think it's I have no idea of what day it is. The 19th? No. Either way, it's Friday. And tonight, I'm having my uh, program for Phoenix Rising, the transformation retreat where we're taking women through a transformation program and then going to Bali. And I'm really excited about tonight. I'm really excited because of this idea of abundance. This program tonight is one of the ways in which my abundance consciousness is unfolding. And what's happening is I'm being awakened to abundance in a way that I couldn't ever even imagine. So last night we had the Long Beach Holistic Chamber of Commerce meeting here at the studio. And the people in that group are so sweet and so nice and so generous and so beautiful and so warm and so really determined to offer great quality support and services to the community. Like, they are so authentic. I was so blessed by them. And what happens, or what is happening, is my life is so full that I found myself getting really, really tired. And now this has happened in the past before for me, where I've had, I have such a blessed life because I'm really grateful for everything. Wherever there's darkness, there's always the thank you. It doesn't matter when, you know, something terrible is happening. I'm always saying thank you with sincerity. And it's not just thank you because I have learned a lesson. You kicked my ass, I learned a lesson, thank you. No, it's a real gratitude for the co-creation and the deep understanding that I have that I co-created all of this. Disease, sickness, as well as joy, abundance, friends, love, family, prosperity, beauty, opulence, lavishness, all that stuff I co-created. And so I'm really, really grateful for the ability to have that kind of power. So what happens though is I receive, such tremendous gifts, and I'm also extremely sensitive. So I find myself being like tired. Like last night, there were all these wonderful people here, and I had had a full day of seeing back-to-back clients and having great conversations with people on the phone. And this is Thursday, so Wednesday was fantastic. My days are just full of abundance. My days are full of joy, peace, helping, giving, receiving, accolades, so much beauty. There was a beautiful woman who came into the studio. I had a session with her yesterday, and I did my hands-on healing session for an hour and a half. And the whole time I was working with her, I was in that state of pure awareness where I'm just in, total meditation. And boy, when she was done, she felt so good and she was so receptive to the work and she was just pouring on all these accolades. And I felt really, my ego felt kind of immobilized, like, what? It wasn't that there was any skepticism, don't get me wrong, but what was happening in my body was that I was feeling tired, It's like, yes, thank you, I love you too. But what's happening? Okay, I think I'm starting to actually understand what's happening. The more I move into this abundance consciousness, the more deeply I surrender to source energy, the less I actually have to do. Now, my ego has an issue with this because my ego feels like in order to have abundance, my ego feels like I have to do something. I have to make sure I call people. I may have to, put an ad in the newspaper. I got to do something. I have to have a marketing plan. I have to do this. I have to do that. I have to blah, blah, blah. And that's not really the way that spirit is working any longer. That used to be a real paradigm, we used to have to put ads in the yellow pages, and like really, really focus on what our marketing plan was going to look like. But when you go into a divine enterprise and you surrender money as the source of abundance, when you surrender clients as the source of abundance, when you surrender, all the things we think that we need in order to open a business, run a business, give a service, when you give up all that stuff and you say, all I really need is what's here in the heart, if that's where your primary focus is, when this is your primary focus, what happens is you don't need to place ads because the law of attraction is bringing you what you want and what you need, what you desire, because you're holding the frequency of that particular thing. Now, it's not to say that I won't ever place an ad. I'll place an ad when Spirit tells me to place an ad and when I need to place an ad. But I won't be placing the ad to get the clients. I'll be placing the ad to satisfy a requirement in the divine plan, which says I need to place an ad right now. The ad will not be my source of abundance. My website is not my source of abundance. My employees are not my source of abundance. Those things are all reflections of the abundance that exists inside of me, but they are not my source. And this idea first came to me years ago when I started reading the Abundance book by John Randolph Price. And in the book, before it's the 10 principles of abundance, and you do those 10 principles over 40 days. You do them 4 times over 40 days. Before he has you go into the principles, he has you take an oath. And it was that oath that struck me as more significant than any of the individual principles of abundance because it helped me to understand exactly where I was wrong in my thinking. So when I first read this thing, I intellectualized it, and I'm like, wow, that's heavy. Then I had to emotionally internalize it, and then I had to live it, which this last year and a half was really about. So I'm going to read to you what this oath says. It says, this day, and then you insert the date there. So this day, today is, what day is it? Today is the 16th. Yesterday was Martin Luther King Jr.'s birthday. So today is the 16th. This day, January 16th, I cease believing in visible money as my supply and my support, and I view the world of effect as it truly is, simply an outpicturing of my former beliefs. I believed in the power of money and therefore surrendered my God-given power and authority to an objectified belief. I believed in the possibility of lack, thus causing a separation in my consciousness from the source of my supply. I believed I believed in mortal man and carnal conditions, and through this faith gave man and conditions power over me. I believed in the mortal illusion created by the collective consciousness of error thoughts, and in doing so, I have limited the unlimited. No more. This day I renounce my so-called humanhood and proclaim my divine inheritance as a being of God. This day I acknowledge God, and only God, as my substance, my supply, and my support. And this very short paragraph struck me because it occurred to me that what if money wasn't the supply? What if money was just an outlet or a tool that represented a frequency that you were already holding? Well, I said, okay, I worked it out intellectually, and then I said, let me try it. I'm going to just simply hold the frequency of abundance, of having money and having the things that I need, and then I'm going to watch what happens. And so I went into the business, having having a negative bank account. But I knew that I was in the right place doing exactly the right thing. And my prayer was going to always be to serve the will of source energy, meaning serve my highest will, my divine self. I know a lot of people have an issue with the term God. If you want to get stuck on God, then go ahead, but call it what you want, right? Don't let your own limiting beliefs, your own resistance to a word stop you from moving deeper or more deeply into a concept that will change your life. So for me, this idea of aligning my will with the will of God, Goddess, Source of all, was really powerful. Because number one, it meant that I had to determine what God's will was and allow it to work through me. And the big word that came to me, or the big idea that came to me, was God's will is my will. God is my will. I'm God. I am God. That's what we are. God is everything. God is me. So what do I want? What do I desire? And it occurred to me, well, I desire to connect people through love and to help people awaken to their own power. So that's what I'm coming into this business for. That meant not just my clients and people who are going to be paying me money, but the people who work here have to hold a certain vibration, which means that they desire also to love themselves and to become more deeply in love with themselves. And they are wanting to awaken to their own divinity. So once I wrote that out, I shared on Facebook that I want, this employee and I need these employees and I want this to happen. And all of a sudden I'm flooded with these wonderful women who are awesome. And next thing you know, my studio's getting cleaned up, everything's getting done, walls are getting painted, furniture's getting moved. All these high vibrational people are just coming and throwing themselves like, hey, what do you need? We're going to do this. And they're just moving stuff. And I'm going, wow. And in 6 weeks, it wasn't even 6 weeks, to be honest with you, they had everything done in probably about 2 weeks. And we were up and running. We were up and running in 2 weeks, fully running. Whew. So the original idea of this video, sorry I'm going on, I think I'm all over the place again, but the whole point of this video is to understand that abundance is something that starts in the heart. It has nothing to do with starting outside. Now, you might have to start outside in order to wind your way back inside. But if you're looking for an outward expression of abundance, you're looking in the wrong place. First, it starts here, and then you see it represented out there. Okay, this might be a video that went on and said absolutely nothing. I'll be working on that. I'm gonna actually try making some notes before I do a video the next time. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. I have a spot. I have a spot. That's funny. All right, Crystalline Bell, wishing you a very, very abundant and prosperous day. Reminding you to take a risk for abundance. Abundance is as abundance does. So the next time you go into a place and you want a discount on something, try saying, I don't need a discount because I'm abundant. Or if they're offering you the discount, you can take it. But I'm saying, though, that the next time you want to go into a place and you're choosing the sale item, which is poorer quality, over the not on sale item, which is high quality, higher vibration, a more abundant product, choose the more abundant product. Raise your vibration. Just try it and see. It's a different way of doing things, but it involves trust and it involves, well, trust. Okay. Have a good day, friends. Bye for now.